Check, check. All right. All right. I got a few minutes. I don't know actually how long, but I got some time. House to myself. So, yeah. Do. Man, after a couple of videos, I still suck at this. So, we're drawing a blank. All right. Yeah. I guess a recent update came back from my trip around the world, basically. The first week of my trip was in Italy and then came back home for the weekend and immediately Monday was back out for Australia for the following week. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind travel wise, but it was really good. What can I say? I'm trying to think. Updates for Italy. I think I said some updates for Italy in the last video. Food was great. Got a chance to tour the city, walk around, check out the architecture and eat some pretty good food. So overall it was a great trip. A little rough trying to adjust to the time and the jet lag going back and forth between Italy and home and then Melbourne, Australia. My first time in Melbourne, Australia. The total flight time was about like 22, 23 hours. I had a connection over at LAX. That took a couple hours. So yeah, it was basically like kind of felt like time traveling. I left Monday and I landed Wednesday. And that trip was also fun, but a little chaotic because kind of went into that trip with a little bit blind, not knowing what to expect. The team and I were just kind of taking it literally second by second. We were originally scheduled out. We were originally scheduled to go out there for a 2-day shoot. Obviously, the first leg of the F1 season started in Melbourne. So we were also going hand in hand with an event that we were hosting at the same time. And so because my company is a sponsor of the VCarb F1 team, we had a chance to get Liam Lawson to come speak at our event. And then I was out there trying to get some, promo social media videos done, but his schedule and our schedule is just kind of not lining up. But we did manage to get literally just 10, 20 seconds with the guy. So we got some stuff for social media, but definitely we went into it with pretty, I'd say, ambitious expectations. We knew it was going to be kind of hectic and kind of playing it by ear, which it was. But overall, it was a really great experience. And I think everyone was pretty happy with the turnout. So that was the first day. And then the second day of shooting altogether was just canceled because just couldn't make it work. Again, scheduling conflict. So me and the team basically had a free day in Melbourne, Australia to kind of explore, get out, check out the scenery, visit some sites, and eat some good food. It was really great. For whatever reason, I've never really heard a lot about Melbourne, Australia. I don't know, maybe because it's so far away, but yeah, I just never knew how awesome of a city it is. Like it's so eclectic and diverse and just walking through the city, it's crazy. Every single block just feels like you're in a new place. Like one block I'm feeling like, oh, I'm getting like London vibes here. And then you walk another block and you feel like you're in Asia, like in Singapore or something. And then a couple blocks later you're in New York. And then another block is like Seattle. It's wild. And on top of that, their weather is also really fluctuates a lot. Like I was talking to the Uber driver and he was saying you basically get like 3 seasons in one day, which really was the case. Like in the morning, it's a little rainy and gloomy and there's overcast. And then by the afternoon, the sun's out and it's hot. And it's just awesome, actually. I'd love to go back, but it's such a far trip. So I don't know when I'd actually be able to make that trip happen again, if ever, but I definitely love to. So shout out to Melbourne. I mean, it's awesome over there. If you're ever thought about going, check it out. But yeah, other than that, Australia. Oh, one thing that kind of was a bit of a hiccup for the Australian trip is, of course, I'm traveling with video gear to a different country. Stupid me. I knew this, but it had been so long since I had to do this, like literally over maybe like 5, 10 years ago. So going into another country with a bunch of camera gear that you don't have documentation for, yeah, not a good idea. Unfortunately, when I landed in Melbourne, I went through customs. They stopped me, they pulled my bags, and they asked me what I had. I just wasn't thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for work. This is my camera gear." They're like, "Okay, you got documentation? You got paperwork for all this?" And immediately I'm just like, "Oh crap. I totally forgot. I totally I knew this, but I also just kind of played dumb hoping they'd let me slide, but unfortunately they did not. So, in the nicest way possible. And that's another thing. People in Australia are all so nice. Me being in Atlanta, in Georgia, like you hear a lot about the Southern hospitality, but man, I swear, literally everybody in Australia is so nice. And so even the customs officers were super nice. They said it in the nicest way possible. They were like, "Okay, sir, unfortunately, we are going to have to confiscate your gear." But yeah, they were just really nice and polite about it, and they gave me some really thorough instructions on how to go about getting in contact with a customs broker, and they're going to help me get the right form so I can come back and get my gear back. So yeah, I after all that happened, I spent the better part of like 6, 7 hours trying to do that whole process, and it cost quite a bit of money to get that paperwork done. But yeah, after 6, 7 hours, I managed to go back to the airport, get my gear back the same day, and save the trip altogether. Still had all my stuff ready to go for the shoot. So yeah, a little bit of a hiccup, but for the most part, everything else was really great. And it I guess that second day in Melbourne, I'm with my team. It's a super like beautiful day, really relaxing. We're just enjoying the whole experience of it. And I I th- I didn't I wasn't the first one to say this out loud as another team member of mine, but it was definitely something that I had thought about and that I was journaling about earlier that morning. And it was this thought like, holy crap, like we're in Melbourne, Australia. Like who would have thought, especially it's not even like a personal trip or a vacation. It's like a work trip. Our job sent us out to sent us out to Melbourne, Australia, and we're just like here, just experiencing all of it. And so it was just like a moment of reflection where I was just like really grateful and just kind of taking everything in. Like it just kind of made me think like as much as I have all these like dreams and desires and pursuits and passions and goals for my life, and I try really hard to be intentional about it and trying to steer my life a certain way. All this at the same time, I just get super humbled by the fact that like I never planned for this, and yet God has given me this opportunity, this experience that I never would have thought of, that I never would have imagined for myself. And so it was just like one of those moments where I was very much in the moment, just embracing everything. And yeah, it was really great. It was a really great experience. And so I guess my takeaway from that is how do I want to word it? Maybe yeah, just this idea of just like letting go of control, be open to what's the saying? You know what you don't know. I don't know if that saying really applies for this, but yeah, just being open to the unknown and kind of embracing it and just seeing what happens. So, yeah, that's just kind of a recap for my Australia trip. And yeah, as far as like these YouTube videos, this is gonna be my fourth video I post. Each video, I'm trying to do something a little bit different, just improve it just a little bit, whatever that might be, whether it's the way I edit or music or whatever. My takeaway for the one thing I was trying to implement for this video is just being a little bit more enthusiastic because yeah, it's not that I am faking it being on camera, but I think I was just a little too low energy, which I am pretty low energy and chill for the most part. But it also just made me not feel so excited about recording. So it's one of those things where like if I smile and sound a little bit more enthusiastic, maybe it'll make me feel more positive about making the video. So that's one thing I'm going to try to change, is just pick up the energy a little bit. You know, it's still me, but I just want to pick up the energy a little bit. Hopefully whoever watches this can appreciate that a little bit and it doesn't come off as too much or annoying or something. But yeah, again, I'm just trying to figure this out, learn how I can improve, but still being authentic to myself. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and yeah, we'll see what the next video brings.